Hello everybody, Roadcraft Nottingham here. I've had quite a few requests from subscribers asking about some tips on night riding. I don't mean being a night rider, I mean night riding. So I think the first tip really would be, you need night. The next thing to think about is reflective clothing. The two types of visible clothing you've got is fluorescent and reflective. Fluorescent shines up better during the daytime but can hardly be seen at all at night. And of course reflective is better at night, because if you look at things like joggers trainers or cycle pedals or even cat's eyes on the motorway, you can see how much more visible they are. Next thing to think about, as you can probably see the bouncing around going on here, the road surface. You can't see the road surface very well, so you need to keep your speed down there. And thirdly, these oncoming car headlights, you notice they do dazzle you a little bit. Try not to be tempted to look at the car headlights. Always look slightly down and to the left, or if you're in another country, slightly down and to the right. Don't steer directly at them. If you do happen to get dazzled, slow down and be prepared to stop. People's eyes react differently and reaccustom themselves differently when you've gone from bright to dark. So you've got to know personally how your eyes are in the dark. I know Lindsay's had some laser surgery on her eyes, and she finds that she gets what you call like a starburst effect. Speaking of starburst effects, visors. A visor during the daytime you might be able to see through it quite nice and adequately, but at night time, if you've got the slightest scratches on your visor or the slightest little bit of grease, it's going to cause that starburst effect. So make sure your visor is in good condition and clean at night, and don't wear tinted visors at night. Any tinted visors that are legal for daytime use say for daytime use only on them, so when night time comes, just don't wear them. As you can see here, I can't see very well around this corner at all, so my speed is coming right down to just beyond where my headlight beam is. And people say ride within your headlight beam, but that's not really practical either. I'd say ride in the distance you can see to be clear, as simple as that. And as you can see now, we're going into complete darkness. Full beam's on there. Don't be afraid of using your full beam, as long as you don't dazzle people. If you see a car coming the other way, drop your beam back down to low beam out of respect for them. Okay, speed judgment. I'm currently doing 45 miles an hour in a 60, and I'll be honest with you, it feels like I'm doing about 60. And that's because I haven't got much stimuli around me to let me know how fast I'm going. So I'm keeping my speed down again to what I can see, and I'm just relying a little bit on my speedo. I can't see around this corner, so again it's coming off. I do have my thumb on my high beam light though, just in case anybody comes around the corner. And do bear in mind as well that because you've got no optical stimuli going on here, you might start to get tired a lot earlier. Years ago I did night shifts at work when I was a printer, and I used to find I got really tired around 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And it might just because your body clock naturally wants to close down. So if you're going for a ride at night for a distance, you're probably going to find you get very tired and very weary. So try and make sure that you're rested before you go out on the journey, and you've probably had something to eat as well. Okay, whilst you're out in the countryside, you also need to watch out for animals. We're not talking about little squirrels and things, because even if you don't like animals, you hit a badger at 60 miles an hour, or a sheep, or a deer, or a fox, and you're going to know about it. So you need to also be careful of things like cats that run out at night, foxes, animals that basically don't like the traffic in the daytime, come out at night and start foraging for food. So keep your speed down and watch out for animals too. just going back to what we were saying about being dazzled by oncoming car headlights, I don't know whether any of you knew, but you have a blind spot in your eye. Basically where the optic nerve connects to the back of the eye, it can't reflect any light. So that is where your blind spot is. That's warning me, I am doing 30. Oh, I feel I have to answer to you when I'm doing something like that. So yes, the blind spot in the back of your eye. If you lay in your bedroom or somewhere really dark at night and put something like a clock or an aftershave bottle or something in front of you and you stare directly at it, you find it almost disappears. But if you look slightly to the side of it, it reappears again, and that is demonstrating this blind spot. So if you are going along at night and it's really dark in the countryside and you think you see something in front of you, look ever so slightly to the side of it and it'll make it easier to see. I personally find that when I'm riding at night I actually enjoy it because there's hardly any traffic around. I mean, it's now 20 past 10 in the evening. It's a really nice summer evening and there's not a lot of cars around at all. Normally this road is quite busy and it's very peaceful. So if you do fancy going out at night, just bear in mind the things that I've mentioned to you and always keep it within your limits. If you can't see, you can't go. Simple as that. Enjoy yourself, people. Bye bye.